What's up? It's your girl Ebody, and I am so excited tonight to be sitting here getting the exclusive from the 2019 Miami Entertainment Awards winner for Best Male Singer, Ronnie VOP. What's up, baby? Yes! Yes! Now, you weren't physically there to accept your award, but is there anything that you would like to say tonight?
Well, first off, thank y'all for doing this with me.
You are so welcome.
Told you I don't want to do an interview. I want us to just have a conversation.
Yes,
so
let's do it.
This is Ebony featuring myself, and we just having a good conversation. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy that I was even nominated. I was doing so much work. I know I had some friends that told me that I was nominated and whatnot. And to be honest with you, I don't think too much of myself like that. So I wasn't really even expecting to win.
Right.
So, and I know a lot of people say that, but I really mean it. So, but when I won, I was really, really ecstatic and just really happy, and hate the fact that I couldn't be there, whether win or loss.
Right.
But I'm happy. Yeah,
so what did you think about the event? Like, I mean, I wish you could have been there to actually see how everything went down, and to see, you know, all, the community just came out. You know what I mean? People came dressed, people came ready. Like, what do you think? What are your views on just, you know, everybody coming out and them putting on for the city and just bringing everybody together?
Well, I be busy, but not that busy.
So I
had an opportunity to get on my phone and go through social media and see the many people that came out dressed to impress. People looked absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
I know some of the people that performed. Forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. I always tell them I never know how to pronounce it, but Enikio.
Yep.
Even one of our legends in Miami, Piccolo and Vito No Shake. So I was able to catch up on a few things, and I saw SDNS Radio 1 for Best Radio Show or Best Personality. I think it was great. I really, really enjoyed what I did see.
Yeah, what you were able to see. How does it feel to get that award? You know what I mean? Like, so first of all, your voice is just beautiful. So it was well deserved. It was well deserved. But everybody in the category, I feel, was great. But it was well deserved because your tone, your voice, everything is just great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. For the most part, I'll say this. It's definitely an honor to, you know, receive something like this. And
let me see that award. Just pick it up sometime because it's nice. It's big.
It's been sleeping next to me every night. I just been laying down like good. I say my prayers and I'm just like, new pillow alert.
Okay.
New pillow alert.
Yes.
No, but it's definitely something that I cherish really, and I can say this as well. I did like a small kind of I guess appreciation post that I posted on my social media.
Right.
And I definitely said that I want to take this in honor of all of the singers in Miami, understanding that we all come from down here, and it's not really a platform given to us for us to break out in the city. We all know that our city is really based on hip hop and just, you know, different things in the scenery, and R&B isn't really like the forefront here.
Right.
So, or just singing in general, because the category is for best, you know, singer in general, best vocals. So, and all of the guys are absolutely wonderful. I can't remember everybody in the category. I'm sorry, but Zoe knows how much I adore his artistry. He's absolutely incredible. One of the most talented individuals that I know. Jay Mazur, I've met him a few times. I think he's very talented as well. Just everybody in the category, male or female, just representing for all of us.
Right. Well, so can we get a little note or something? I mean, for those that don't know, for those that ain't never heard you, can we get a little note? I mean, something? Can we get an exclusive? Because this is the exclusive here.
I'm a little dry.
Oh my God!
I didn't have my peppermint tea this morning. But Let's see.
We're gonna get a little exclusive right here. You heard it first.
Let's see. Baby, would you mind if I picked you up on a late night cruise, just me and you? There's nothing else to do, lover. Baby, would you mind if I rubbed all on your thighs and your skirt begin to rise? I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road because the bass bumping my top back and I got you by my side. We ride around Miami and we ride around and we ride, and we don't need nobody else. It's already good vibes, but before we end tonight, girl, tell me, would you mind?
Oh,
I'm so dry right now.
Let me tell you something. That gave me goosebumps right now. I feel like you were singing that to me. What? Tell me what? I like that. Oh, yes. You know, we should have had you up there performing. You should. I'm telling you.
Next year, let's work on that.
Let's do it.
Honestly,
let's do it. Definitely.
I'd love to do it.
Definitely.
I just commend the committee. I said that as well in the post. I commend the committee and the staff for even putting together something like this.
Yeah.
Like, I apologize on behalf of Miami as a whole when it comes down to being so judgmental and critical with certain things.
Right.
We got to understand that it takes time for things to grow. It takes time for the committee and certain people to learn who's who. We can't all be acting like we sitting on this pedestal and we haven't all necessarily deserved it. I just got to say that. And to be honest with you, I don't speak on stuff
I appreciate
like that.
I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate it for sure.
I tell people all the time, like, and that's just because it's an inspiration for myself.
Right.
Coca-Cola sold 3 bottles its first year.
Exactly.
And now we talking about a multi-billion-dollar business.
Exactly.
So, but we had to give it time to grow.
Exactly.
You know, get to know the cities where it can go to. Get to know the gas stations that it can contract with.
Right.
Get to know the other contractors that sign deals with it, whether it's convenience stores and things. It's important.
And it's coming.
I'm bringing all of that up to say that, folks, just give it time.
Just give it time.
Just give it time to continue to grow and blossom, and respect the fact that something like this was even thought of.
Yeah.
Most of us sit around and wait around for our moment for the BET Awards, the BET Hip Hop Awards, the Grammys, and the VMAs and things like that, and need to cherish things like this in our own backyard, just like it is.
Yep.
When I got that FaceTime from my friend Bob, shouts out to Bob, he's the one that accepted it for me.
Yep.
And he was like, bro, you know I just left the show. And I was like, oh yeah, how did it go? He's like, it went real good. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, how can you guess what happened? I said, I don't know. Tell me what happened. He's like, bro, you won.
Yeah, you won that.
And when he showed me this, man, it was like looking at a Grammy. Like, honestly, like, it's just, I'm just so thankful, and I'm sure everybody should just be thankful that we even being acknowledged for the work that we've done thus far.
Yep.
I haven't even put out an album yet, and people are, you know, commending me and acknowledging what I've done.
So far, yeah.
You know, so it's a blessing.
Oh, we definitely appreciate that. So from the 4. So from the 4, okay, like with Diddy himself. Yeah. Okay, first I wanna kind of go back and kind of dig before the 4. Mm-hmm. Tell me, Ronnie, before the 4. What were you doing before that?
Well, Ronnie before the 4 was still, you know, working on music.
Still doing music.
I can imagine that even being put in this category, not necessarily from the TV show, but I'm sure, I would hope that people, you know of the things that I've done prior to.
Right.
I had a single that was called Would You Mind that came out some time ago. I say a couple years ago. And it was actually the only R&B independent homegrown record that was put on radio ever in full rotation. This is without a deal, you know, because a lot of the other R&B singers had a deal, which means that, you know, if you had a deal, you had a budget.
Right.
But and it did really, really well. From there, I'm always working with the hip hop artists in the city, especially the ones that I feel like we can create great music together. So a lot of people know me from doing features with Berg and Briscoe and just a lot of the big guys in the city, Zoe Dollars and whatnot, as well as the females as well. I've worked with the City Girls.
Yes.
And we did some stuff on their album that just came out.
Yes.
So I'm always just trying to keep myself in the loop of what's going on.
Yeah.
Did a lot of great big shows out here in the city. I was blessed to do Jazz in the Gardens at the Stadium with Usher and Janelle Monáe and Kool and the Gang and a lot of great other artists. And a lot of the other shows, I'm always blessed to get calls from the promoters or radio shows, and they ask me if I'm interested in doing it. So I've been blessed to perform with El DeBarge, Tank, Bobby Brown, New Edition, Belle Biv DeVoe, Shirley Murdoch, Kelly Price. The
list goes on and on.
And it's a blessing, especially so early on in my career. I gotta say, it's a blessing to be looked at as one of the artists that people feel like they can appoint to represent the city well.
Right.
So a lot of people feel like my proudest accomplishment would be the 4 because I was on TV.
Right.
But right before I did the 4, I have to say my proudest accomplishment thus far.
Yes.
I was blessed to do the national anthem for President Obama's last
No, you
speech.
didn't.
Yeah.
Did you?
And yeah, his last speech in the state of Florida.
Oh my gosh.
That's like
that's huge. Hands down, that's huge.
Yeah,
How did you feel doing something like that? Like for Obama, he's still the president right now. Obama,
he's my president.
Okay, he always gonna be my president.
But
so you were able to sing the national anthem.
Yes,
here in Florida for Obama.
Yeah, long story short, a good friend of mine, Mayor of Miami Gardens, Mayor Oliver Gilbert, he called me along with Big Man Kelly. I can't forget Big Man Kelly, who is one of my dearest friends. At the time, he was working for Hot 105.
Right.
And they both called me on a 3-way and asked me if I would like to do it. And I was like, I got to check my schedule.
Yeah, right. When they said Obama, it was like
no brainer.
Clear my schedule.
Absolutely. Yes. So I was blessed to do the national anthem. They got me in contact with Secret Service. They told me everything I needed to do and the steps I had to take. So they asked me who was my guest. I took my mother with me. I figured that was something that me and her
needed to.
Yeah. Yep. So and it's definitely just been the highlight of everything thus far.
Definitely, that's amazing. So for the 4, what was it like to be on the 4, to be on national television, to sing in front of Diddy and DJ Khaled? Like, how did it feel to do that? That's crazy within itself right there. But how did it feel for you?
Nerve-wracking.
Really?
Yes.
Why though? Why?
At the end of the day, it's still what I love to do.
Right.
But you can imagine the pressure going somewhere that I had never been. I had never been to LA. And not only have I never been to LA, but I've never done a TV show. Not only have I never done a TV show, but I've never had to think of the fact that I'll be aired on a TV show in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
So, and then the pressure, of course, being in front of people such as Diddy and Khaled and whatnot. They actually edited out of the show, but I was able to remind Diddy that when I was 13 years old, I actually did the Super Bowl kickoff with him.
Oh, really?
I was a part of this chorus, this group called Voices of Heritage with these like inner city kids at the African Heritage Coach Art Center. And they were looking for some kids to do the Super Bowl concert with Diddy, and I was one of the ones that was chosen. I actually also reminded Khaled that I did the grand opening performance for his finger licking at Miami Gardens with E-Class. Right. So just goes to show how far back my history and how I've been,
It's definitely far back, and that's why you are where you are today, because you just kept working. You just kept grinding. A lot of times people look and they think that somebody just jumped in and they didn't see all the hard work that happened before. But everything that you're just telling, things that I didn't even know, just led up to where you are right now.
And a lot of people don't know it, and that's the great thing about it. Though one day it should be televised or documented, but it's really dope when people don't know things, and then when you can let a person know the history of your background. Not only am I here because of what people may see in me, but also because of the amount of work that built me up to this point.
Of course.
So, but to answer your question, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It was still, an amazing experience, being on the 4. So it was great.
So did you have James in mind before you even hit the stage? Like, that's who I'm going to challenge?
Yeah.
So you already know you...
Even when I was home, because the way that the 4 does it, the show's already airing prior to them, finding talent and, flying them out to LA and whatnot. So I was home, down here in Miami, watching James on TV. Oh. And I knew that if given the opportunity... that's who I was going for.
Right. So how did you get that opportunity?
Well, I have a friend by the name of Jed. So we call him Jed. His name is Jedediah, but we call him Jed for short. Yeah. He's an artist as well, a recording artist, very talented. R&B vocalist, I would say. Mm-hmm. And he called me one day and just told me, bro, I think you should do the 4. How do you feel if I submitted you to somebody? And I said, okay, give it a shot. Because to be honest with you, I never wanted to do any of those singing competition shows or anything like that. So he sent it off, and they called me back, and they said, listen, we like you. We want to know if you're interested in coming to LA. And I said, okay, when? They said, tomorrow.
Ooh, no time. Come right now.
Yeah, it was bum. So literally, I went from... being home in Miami, sitting on my couch waiting on a response, to the next day being in front of the Bad Boy Entertainment Committee, Lorianne Gibson, Mario Winans, and all of these, big people. I consider, obviously, legends in the game, Lorianne Gibson, and, names like that. So It was great. It was great. That's how I got on the show.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that, but really, relationships, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
You know, most people say, what's more important, money or relationship? Relationship, because relationship will get you to the money.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, I know you said back when you were doing the 4 that you worked at a funeral home. You still working at that funeral home? Or you ain't got no time for it no more? What's going on?
Listen, I grew up in that business.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will always love it, always adore it. I love my family. It's definitely something that I grew up doing. Singing at the services and things like that. And a lot of people still know me for that, so I'm not going to knock it. You know what I mean? But I did feel like I wanted people to know more of me, which was kind of taken out of the show. I didn't want people to look at me like I was this R&B undertaker, like I work at a funeral home Monday through Friday and do little cigar lounges on Friday nights when I get off. It was so much deeper than that. Unfortunately, they did so much editing and cutting that people didn't really get to get the full story of me. But like I said, I love my family very much, and I thank them for giving me a platform to grow prior to everything else that I was doing.
Yeah.
And make good money at a young age. So,
of course, of course. So you said also when you did the 4 that you sung for the first time at a funeral when you were 7?
Yeah, I was about 7.
You were 7. Did you know music before that? Did you love music before that, or you just kind of...
I was kind of getting into it at the time because I was so young.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where you don't really know the fact that you like it or not. You just know that it's something you enjoy.
And something
so
you
it was a hobby more than anything, more than me looking at it at that time that it could have been a career. I think that it turned into that once I did that first performance and I saw the atmosphere change with everyone in the audience. So I think it was at that moment when I realized and understood that it was something that I can do and actually help change and mold the emotions, no matter what the case may be, because it's deeper than a funeral. Sometimes some people go to bars and it'll be a live band and just so happen that performer may sing the right song that person needs to hear just to get their mind off of whatever. Sometimes our favorite performer, sometimes we go to a concert to hear a certain song, or when Michael Jackson performed Man in the Mirror, just that one song that the people needed to feed the spirit, feed the soul.
Exactly.
So I think it's...
So is there somebody in the family that sings? Where did you get this voice from? Because you have such a beautiful voice. My God. The way you do it, like I'm telling you, like there ain't nobody singing like you right now.
Well, I take no credit. I give it all to God. Like my brother AG would say, I give it all to God, and it's all him. But I can say that my inspiration came from my grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother has like a voice of a bird to me. Especially when I was growing up. She was definitely somebody that I admired and I looked up to. She was my idol.
Oh, nice.
And she was the one that fully discovered me. I can recall my mother really like being the one like, I think he can sing. But my grandmother was the one that took me under her wing. And she was that family member that taught me about notes and scales and breathing and just certain things that I needed to know. The importance of showmanship, and vocal ability, and so she's
bless her heart, because she don't even know what she did. Okay, like you,
she let my hand go when I was 13 and did the Super Bowl with the other kids and with Diddy.
Right.
I had seen the biggest stage production in the world. That I had ever seen. I was inspired by it. I was so motivated, and I just wanted to take it to the next step. And with that, taking it to the next step, I started writing. But I wasn't writing about what she would have wanted me to write about. My writing and me sneaking off to listen to what they call secular music and whatnot. I just wanted to expand my mind musically and listen to different sounds.
So she wanted you to more on the gospel side. Yeah.
And I just never wanted to be put in a label, even though I understand that as I sing, my tone, my style, my sound, the music I'm working on right now may be considered R&B. But even not, that's why I even appreciated this more, because it said Best Male Singer. And I just love the fact that it didn't put it in one category. Because I've always told people I want to be able to do all kinds of music. But my grandmother holding a big title in the church and whatnot, being a missionary and then turning into an evangelist, she just felt like it was time to let my hand go. So she let my hand go, and I just had to figure it all out from that point. But I figured that she taught me all that she could anyway, and that it was time for me to grow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I read something somewhere where you had said something like, you have to give something to get something. Something that you had to do to kind of like let go to be on TV. Explain that a little bit. Like, was that for the 4?
It could have been for the 4. I think that it's more so just, even with that quote, I think more so just, you have to be willing to make some type of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Me going to the 4, I made a sacrifice. I knew that I would be seen in front of millions of people around the world. I knew that my story would be unfold and untold. And that's just with anything. It's never a comfortable situation when you're trying to go for something. Yeah. So nothing good comes easy. Everything comes in due time, kind of thing.
Let me tell you got a nice little style too. Like, even when you was up there, you had the red little nice jacket on and stuff. Like, your whole style was different.
The crazy part about it is that the show was really based on, I guess they were looking for like powerhouse singers, and everybody had beautiful voices. I realized that I used the moment to be more of an entertainer.
Yes.
It was about vocals for me as well, but I also wanted to show the world that I just enjoy performing. And so I really had a good time just engaging with the crowd, and the best thing is just being there and actually feeling the energy of it.
I feel like Diddy loved that from you. I feel like he liked the fact that you got into your, that groove, and you started,
right.
Just, I feel like he liked that, because it seems like he like an overall, artist, and not just a great singer, or not just a great dancer, but somebody that can just, move the crowd in just in general. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think he really liked that from you.
Right. And I think I sensed that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, some people may feel like I shouldn't have moved around as much as I did, or
no
done
way.
this or done that. But I mean, one thing about it, if it's something that some people say you're born with or whatever, some things you just can't control.
Exactly.
I can't control where the music takes me sometime. So
and I think that's just in us, period. Because you play some music right now, I'm about to start bopping my head. I don't even know I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I think that's just in us. So, Diddy being of us, he the same way. And, when you got the comment of, you didn't have to move, I'm like, no, that's what we do, honey.
I mean,
we move. Like,
of course I take heed to the response, or, what Megan feels and whatnot.
Yes, of course.
However, then there are the voices of my ancestors that are like, you're doing great. And I'm not saying this to sound weird when I say ancestors, like I got voices in my head. But along with me listening to what she's saying while I'm on stage, all I can see is clips of James Brown, Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown, Chris Brown, Usher, Jackie Wilson, Sammy Davis Jr. The list goes on.
Yep.
And these are just entertainers that I've looked up to throughout the years.
Yep.
And there's really no limit with those guys.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If James Brown wants to hit the floor 50,000 times, whatever shows that he's just giving his all on stage, then that's just what it is. So, I mean, I appreciate the pointers and whatnot. I take bits and pieces, but I can't forget to be myself at the end of the day.
Right.
And nobody can prison me on stage, because that's the place where I'm supposed to be the most free.
Yeah.
It's escape for me.
You better say it. So, come on now. Come on now. I think you did great. So from the 4, you had a little time in between. How did you feel like you elevated as an artist, and just from that point to now? You're getting ready to go to American Idol, so things might be a little bit different. In what ways do you feel like you prepared to get to that point?
To be honest with you, just being real with yourself. And although, you're going out there, you're around a lot of big time people, executive producers, judges, celebrities, and things like that everybody's going to have an opinion. To whatever you feel like you can take heed to and take bits and pieces of advice, but just also understand that you are to take all of that and still surround that around who you are at the end of the day. And I think that although a lot of people commend what I brought to the fore, I still feel like I allowed a lot of opinions to not let me fully be myself, and as far as the full entertainer and vocalist that I know I was capable of being. So I think I grew from that aspect. Also, I would say really just telling people what they need to know mostly, and leaving it at that, because like I said, there was a lot of things about my storyline that I wish would have been incorporated into it, and it wasn't. So I think
okay.
this
listen, the world is getting ready to know Ronnie. Okay,
because I went through a real thing with that, like, and I'm gonna just talk about it. Like, there's really no need to I would say, hide it from anybody, because the fans or just people that support me in general, they need to know. Like, I went into a real bad depression behind that show. And although I want to make it seem like, I grew, eventually I did, but I did have to find, I had to find me all over again. Because you deal with the criticism, and you deal with the fact of feeling like you weren't treated fairly with certain things, and you didn't really get what you feel like you deserved, or what the people are reassuring you deserve. Because I'm not going to name any names, but there are a lot of public figures and celebrities that call my phone and just can sense certain things. And I went through a really bad thing with that. I wasn't really answering my phone. I wasn't going to the studio. I had stopped writing for a long time. And I just needed to get back to me.
So from the 4, now going and making your way to American Idol, how do you feel you've prepared for that? Do you feel like, you could take what you learned there and kind of use it towards American Idol a bit?
Absolutely, yes. And I have to say this, if given the chance to do American Idol, because it's been talked about, nothing's really, for sure yet. I can't speak much on it, but definitely just being more confident, like I said, within myself, and giving it 100% for sure. Not saying that I didn't at the 4, but it's just a difference when you can allow your mind to be completely clear and let your thoughts only come from what you feel really inside. Whereas your mind being cluttered with so many thoughts and critics and corrective criticism and politics and things like that. I definitely want to go on with a clean mind and go with the fact of, or the thought of, knowing that I'm just here to entertain and give America everything that I got, really.
See, with American Idol, I mean, it may be different now, I'm not sure, but with American Idol, it's that one chance, right? Like, it's that one chance to go on, versus how the 4 was, you get the challenge right then and there. You're going to sing them 2 songs right then, you know what I'm saying? Right then and there, versus American Idol. And your voice is just so beautiful when you listen to the way you sing it, and the rips and the runs and everything that you do. A slow song will hit. Like, I know you like to groove and you like to do your thing. I'm telling you, when I hear you on other things, and I listened to a couple things that you had on Instagram, and I was like, wow.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, you talking about the covers and stuff, like when I do this thing called the Fedora Sessions,
man.
And every now and then, if it's an artist that I look up to or have admired throughout the years, or grew up, just idolizing, I'll on their birthday, I'll pay tribute to them, and I'll sing a song. So I've done Bob Marley, Aaliyah, Marvin Gaye, Whitney Houston, and a few others. So people really enjoy it.
I see some stuff that you're doing with Pleasure P. What's this 1, 2? What's going on? There's something going on with Pleasure.
1, 2.
Yes. What's going on with Pleasure P now? Keeping it all in the in this family. What's going on?
Well, Pleasure's like a brother to me. I'll say that he's definitely like one of the first R&B artists from the city that I've studied, and not only studied, but as I've grown older to get to know them, took me under their wing. But that concept actually came from a good friend of mine, DJ Screech, and he came out with this song called 1, 2, and then it came out with a dance, and it just became this anthem. And so then they started doing remixes to it. Some more good friends of mine, Kiddo Marv did a remix to it, Iceberg did a remix to it, Sam Sneak was on it, and Major 9 did one as well. And so I ran into DJ Screech at Live House Studio, which is Iceberg Studio, and I said, I just got a bone to pick with you. What's up with the R&B version? And he granted it to me. He told me, gave me the green light, told me, yo, let's do it. I'm with it. So we did the R&B version, and I wanted to do it kind of sort of how the rappers were doing it, because I see that Kiddo got Major 9 on it, and Screech was still involved in the hook and whatnot. So I said, okay, I don't want to do it by myself. If we're going to do an R&B, I came up with this concept of kind of bringing together the legends and the new legends.
Yeah.
So there's Screech and myself, and then there's Pleasure P, and then there's DJ Chipman on it as well.
I love it.
So DJ Chipman is one of our legendary DJs as well. He gave us hits when I was growing up, like peanut butter jelly, ice cream and cake, stuff like that.
Right.
So it was just really dope. It was just the concept of the vision that I had with bringing it together. DJ on the beat produced it, and it just became a vibe.
Nice.
I called Pleasure. I called Pleasure because we were already working on some things for his album, some music he's working on. Along with Love and Hip Hop Miami. And I called him. I said, listen, there's this new thing, this new wave going on. It's called 1-2 by DJ Screech. I want you to meet him. Listen, are you interested in it? Before he even heard it, he's like, bro, let's work on it. Let's do it. So
that's what's up. Then I heard you singing his song while he was right there. And I'm like, and you sounded so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we get a remix? Can we get, you know
you're talking about in the backstage.
Yes.
I did you wrong. Yeah.
Yes. I was like, wow. And then to just, how does that gotta feel so good for him to be right there, you know, to be someone like your big brother and just to hear you singing his song. You know what I mean? Like,
I would hope that he is reassured of how much he has inspired, you know, vocalists and just a lot of us. And I think that it's not just South Florida, but the world just in its entirety.
Yeah.
However, being from South Florida just really gives us the opportunity to see that we can make it and we can become, you know, something of that. And, you know, a lot of people don't, you know, show the respect where it's due, which sucks sometimes, but I definitely do. Like, Pleasure's first album was Grammy nominated.
Yes.
Songs like I Did You Wrong and a lot of Boyfriend Number 2, these songs were going platinum at the time. And let's just be honest, there was a gap in R&B at the time. You either listen to Chris Brown, Pleasure P, Lloyd, Bobby Valentino. It was, you know, very few. I didn't name everybody. I'm sorry, but very few, you know?
Yeah.
So, I would hope that he is reassured for sure how much he has inspired me, and if he's inspired me, I'm sure he's inspired a whole lot of other vocalists. I know he has.
Oh yes, he did. Look, because I used to be one of them girls. I did, like just to hear it, just to hear that song. I still listen to that song right now. That ain't never gonna change.
Me in middle school with no relationship.
Okay, I know what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But he really had it was a vibe though, all the way. It was a vibe. So that, I mean, that's awesome just to be able to do something with somebody that you idolize and just, you know, kind of look up to and admire when it comes to singing and just being a male vocalist yourself.
And just a surreal moment too, because like I said, growing up, not knowing him at all. Obviously, you know of him, but not knowing him personally. And when things can come around full circle and God can just reassure you how he will allow you to be in the same room of people that you studied, looked up to. Yes. You know, like I had Tank had me in his dressing room singing Prince records with him on the piano. Never was televised, but these are just things that I could only imagine at the time and still feel like it's so early on in my career, but God has a way of reassuring you that if it's for you, it's for you.
It's for you, yes. You listen, when you begin to do things that you didn't even think was in your reach, you know that's
absolutely.
him. You know that is him all day.
Even with the Obama thing, not to rewind, you know, reflect on it too much, but you gotta when I think about it, it's like
that's huge.
Only people like Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson and, you know, artists of that caliber that have sold millions of records, have been out for years and years, and have proven themselves in the game, get that opportunity. Stevie Wonder, John Legend. So when I got the call to do the national anthem for him, that was a really big deal, and I just knew that it was just one of those moments where God was reassuring me that even though you may feel like you're not worthy of it, I'm showing you that you know, it's when I say it's not.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
so
Oh yes. I like that. Oh yes. You got some great things in works for you.
For God.
Yes, you know? Got some great things in the works for you. So anybody else that you feel like, because it seemed like the city of Miami is definitely supporting you and backing you, the artists that are just from here, the great artists that is from here, seem like they, you know, I know you said you've done some things with Tiptra as well, and just other Miami artists, you know, like how do you feel that just the support that you're getting from the city of Miami, the community, Broward, Dade, you know, just everybody seem like they really messing with you, man.
I'm so thankful for it. I'm humble. I don't even know what I did to really deserve it.
There's a lot of artists. When I tell you a lot of artists that would love to be just where you are. And I'm talking about even up and coming rappers as well, not just singers, but would just want that one chance in that one moment. And you're getting it and have gotten it over and over with just great things that's just been happening. It's like, it's your time. When it's your time, it's your time. You know what I'm saying? When it's your time, it's your time, you know?
I'm thankful for it. I still feel like I have a long ways to go, although I've been blessed to do so much in so little time.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that everybody enjoys what I do, what I bring to the table, whether it's my style, my brand, or people being able to see, you know, how much I give while I'm on stage. Even can tell through the music and the recording, like how hands-on I really am with the production and with the creative process. But I'm thankful for all of them. They're all my family and friends near and far, whether it's Tip Drill, City Girls, Briscoe, Kiddo Marv, Greasy, Screech, Pleasure, just everybody. I'm just grateful that everybody looks at me as that guy or anything. And even the other R&B guys that I work with, because I do work with them, and I'm going to take this time to shout them out. I don't want to be too long, but Mo, Jed, Zorenzo, Pleasure again, Jay Shan, to me legendary Jay Shan, legendary Urban Mystic, just a lot of these guys that I like to be hands on with. And I rocks with there's a new female vocalist coming out right now where she's already up and coming. Her name is Savannah Christina. I adore her so much. Oh my goodness.
So we gotta look out for her.
Absolutely. So, you know, I'm always trying to be in the loop, even if I haven't worked with you yet or will never work with you. I mean, I'm always just full of support and just want to, you know, let everybody know I'm coming with good energy, and I just want to create music.
Just create music. So let me ask you this. Anybody that you would love to work with as coming up as an artist? I know there's always someone that you're like, wow, if I could get the one chance to work with that person. Is there anybody that you feel like you just want one chance to work with that person?
Are you giving me top 5 or just
Give
one
me
person?
top 5. Give me top 5.
It's crazy.
Don't tell me nobody you already worked with though.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Oh, but as far as people as well, I can't name people that I've probably performed on the same shows with as well.
Yes, you can.
I can.
Yes,
okay.
you can.
Stevie.
Okay.
Stevie Wonder. And forgive me if my answers are like real old school.
Because I got an old soul, baby, and I feel like you do too. It don't even matter.
Stevie Wonder. Anita Baker.
Yes.
Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson.
Yes. Can you imagine?
Janet Jackson.
Can you imagine? Let's speak that into existence
now.
now.
Let me fast forward, because I'll whisper Janet Jackson like 50 times and then move on. But Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Chris Brown. I'm a big fan of Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And damn, this list is not long enough. But I'm gonna throw Usher in there as well.
Okay.
But then I can't forget Neo.
All right. Look, I can see it though. I can see it. You love Neo too. I can see it.
Okay then, Lucky 7. Let me just name one more.
Go ahead, get that. I'm gonna let you get that one more. Go ahead.
Damn. I'd be honored to work with any of the legends and whatnot, but because I've studied majority of them, but I have to put Beyonce in there as well.
Nice.
Beyonce.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got a little the guys that you named, the Neo, the Chris Brown. You have a little something that I can feel from you is like, you know, you have something like, you know, because you're like I said before, your style and your swag is so different, but there is something that I can tell is like, you know, you've studied and you know whatever, but you made it your own.
Well, you know, it's
amazing.
It's being a child, and it's like watching your parents. You know, my father unfortunately passed when I was a baby, but if he wasn't, that's okay. Thank you. If he wasn't a part of my life, I'm sure that I would have imitated his walk. Yeah. Imitated his talk and tried to, you know, have some type of aura like my father, although trying to find myself.
Exactly.
So I think it's the same thing with music. These guys are like my fathers musically, and from a child, even like a Chris Brown. When Chris Brown came out with Run It, I can remember vividly. I was in 6th grade, not telling my age, but but which I'm still young. But I was still very young and just being a student.
Yeah.
So eventually you take these bits and pieces from a Neo, a Usher, a Michael Jackson, a Chris Brown, Pleasure P, a Stevie Wonder, and things of that sort. I can go far back as Marvin Gaye and Luther Vandross. These are all of these people I've studied throughout the years. I go far back as Frankie Lyman back in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
I do a lot of studying.
Oh, yeah.
And I love a lot of these guys and what they brought to the table. And eventually you get a lot of that and you take bits and pieces, but then you figure out Ronnie as an artist and you bring that to the forefront. And I think everybody has done that.
I think that's what's so magical too about your sound and everything, is just the fact that you do take it way back like that, because you're not just doing what's happening today. And I'm big on just R&B soul music from back in the day. So you have that mixture. You know, you have that mixture, and that's good music. Right, you know what absolutely. I'm saying? Let me tell you something. The new generation don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about that soul music that they used to give us back in the day.
Right.
And not to take nothing away from the Chris Browns and our new generation, but you have that it's like just new school and old school, and it's just like a mix you got.
I mean, I feel like they know it to a degree, but we got to understand that they're going to intake whatever we give them.
Yeah.
So if you put it on the table, if I'm starving,
okay.
I'm going to eat it.
Okay, so, I know that's right.
I mean, obviously, as long as it ain't nothing crazy, but you get my drift.
Right,
you know?
I got you.
So, we just got to get back to reminding them.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about the remix with 1-2. I loved how the production and how it had traditional a traditional R&B feel to it, and how I allowed myself to flow on it. I still incorporated new school, but I modernized it, but I allowed myself to put the ad-libs in it and the harmonies and things like that, and then Screech comes in real smooth with the 1, 2. So it's like, it all comes together, and the kids that played it, because I know a lot of kids played it, and a lot of people were playing it in clubs. Like, I was getting a lot of phone calls like, bro, they playing the song in the club. A lot of people enjoyed it, and I think it was because we took them back to that place. So I think that it's our duty to just take them back. Somewhat, and just remind you what comes from. That's big for me, because I'm going to study whatever happened before me, and if it was great, my duty is to continue to make it greater.
Oh, yes.
So I'm not interested in putting out records that are going to burn out and burn out.
Right.
I'm very interested in the fact that Michael Jackson can stand on a stage and the drummer goes bump, 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 walk with you, and people go crazy as if the record just came out yesterday, and you got to remind people that this record came out in 1979. Okay. That was like 30 years ago. Yep. It's the feeling. It's the originality. It's the authenticity. It's the energy and the magic that was created. Yeah. So that's big for me. Definitely.
So where did so Ronnie is your real name, but where did the VOP, what's the VOP stand for?
I don't even know what it stands
for. What you mean? What you mean you using this? Because I'm like, Ronnie Smith Jr., we Ronnie VOP. What's up?
I had a cousin. Well, I wanted to go on as Ronnie VOP on the 4, but I had to go by my name.
Oh, okay. So they don't let you do, like, if you have an artist name, they don't let you use that?
I guess they pick and choose, because some people were just going by their first name only and not the last name, and some people had like a little twist with their name. Yeah. But for me, it was the name. Right. And I didn't have a problem with that, because although my father was not in my life, I honor him and I honor his legacy. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with carrying on his name at all on a global status like that. Yeah. But VOP, my cousin, his name was Devon, but a lot of people call him G12. He was kind of like the right-hand man to E-Class and Po' Boy at the time, and that was kind of like a little nickname he gave me. And I believe that it stood for like voice of platinum, but a lot of people use it for a lot of different reasons, depending on the settings. Some people call it the voice of purpose, voice of the people, voice of passion, voice of pleasure. Yes. So I'm like, whatever you want it to be, I'm cool with it. But it just, and because he was such a big figure in the community, especially in the music community with Po' Boy and whatnot, people just started calling me that VOP. What's up, VOP? VOP. So a lot of people probably still don't know what it means.
Right. But you clarified today. We're just gonna keep it open. We're the voice of whatever the P is that time.
And I like it like that. It goes back to the fact that no matter what type of music I record, for whatever you see fit of it, that's like I did a record to bring awareness to the gun violence that was taking the lives of our innocent children down here in Miami. Yeah. If you feel like that was the voice of purpose for that moment, beautiful. Right. And then you got a record like would you mind?
Right.
If you feel like, which is a little bit more secular, if you feel like that was a voice of pleasure, then whatever it is to you for the moment, then I'm cool with it.
Exactly.
I'm cool with it.
I know that's right. So you have did the Jamaican Independence Festival, and that was with Stephanie from the Cartel
You
Crew.
really did your research.
Oh, I do my research, baby. And when I saw you was up there with Miss Stephanie, I said, what they got going on? Tell me a little bit about that. How did that come about?
I met Stephanie through Pleasure.
Okay.
And we were at Studio Center, and I met her, and we just kind of sort of clicked.
Yeah.
Going back to Fedora Sessions, I had this vision of doing a Bob Marley tribute, but I wanted to do a duet.
Yes.
Actually I didn't. I set Steph up. She came by the studio, and we were just hanging out. I recorded my part, and I say, Steph, hey, I want to know what you would sound like on this. And she went in the booth, she recorded it, she sounded beautiful, and we put it out, and then next thing you know, it just became this thing that I never would have thought in a million years that Bob Marley's family would have seen it. They posted it on the Bob Marley official sites and whatnot, and then they asked us if we would like to do the Bob Marley Reggae Jamaican Festival, or is it the Jamaican Independence Festival?
Yes,
the Jamaican
57.
Independence Festival. Yes, Independence Festival in front of City Hall.
Oh wow!
So we had the privilege of meeting a lot of we met councilwomen, a lot of people that worked in City Hall and worked for the city, and when it was beautiful.
That was so dope.
Yeah,
I was
beautiful.
like, wow, this is really nice. Let me see what this is about.
Yeah, they had us up there for like 4 days, and we were able to tour the city, and because that was my first time in Philly, we were able to tour the city, and we did some press, and we shook some political hands and whatnot. It was great. It really was great. Yeah.
Could you see yourself on Love and Hip Hop Miami?
You know, Steph asked me.
You know, there's some legends. You know, you got Trick Daddy, Trina, Tip Drill, K.I. Look, Pleasure. Can you see yourself joining that? What do you feel?
Because I've already done the 4, which is considered a reality show.
Yes.
So, I would do it, but I have to do it somewhat my way. I can't lose myself in it.
Right.
I love the idea of knowing the fact that I can get more exposure.
Yes.
I can get little B-rolls of me in the studio right here in the lab
at
studios,
the lab, okay.
Or House of Dreams, or whatever the case may be. But
Circle House.
Circle House, everywhere I record at and work out of. But so I like the idea of the B-roll and whatnot, and showing me working on things and whatnot. But I'm not really a person. I don't base my life around too much foolishness. So. That it all depends on the role that I'm playing, you know, for the show. If it's truly who I am at the end of the day, peacemaker, cool. But it's a lot of other things that I'm not really cool with. All that bottle throwing.
Right. Well, you know what? They leave that for the females anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Because, you know, a lot of dudes been getting off.
I mean, you know.
Shouts out to my bro Chaotic, because he's a good friend of mine. But I ain't jumping over no car trying to get nobody. And nobody better not be jumping over no car to get to me. I know,
that's right. I feel you. You know, but you know, I was on the set of Love and Hip Hop Miami. It was supposed to be for last season, and Gunplay and Trick, they said that, like, they don't allow for it to be any, you know, anything that's not them. You know what I mean? So I think, I mean, the guys kind of do, but I feel like it mostly be the women. So you could kind of have that same aura to just be like, look, you know what I mean? This is what I'm doing, you know.
If the contract and if whatever position I'm playing makes sense for me, I'm cool with it. Steph is really not the first one to, you know, bring it up to me. Brian McKinney kind of proposed it to me some time ago for the very first season. I'm just more so like, as long as it's representing me well, I'm cool with it. Because at the end of the day, I'm really, really true to my music.
Yes.
And I want it to stay focused on that. Sometimes when you which show, that's the good thing. That was the beauty about the 4. Although we weren't performing original music, it still kept the focus for the most part on the fact that, you know, you're performing, you're a singer, trying to make it to the next level.
Yes.
I don't want it to get to, oh, okay, he's a singer, but everybody's focused on
the negative and everything that's going on. I mean, I feel like Cardi B used it for what it should have been. Just a platform to kind of get you to the next level. You know, a lot of people I feel like get stuck there, and it's still there, you know, but I feel like she did her thing, and now she done elevated, you know what I'm saying? So,
and I think that she kind of already, what she gave America in the Love and Hip Hop franchise, I feel like what Cardi B gave them was what she already was.
Oh yeah.
So you were already getting that.
Oh yeah.
You know, from Instagram and things like that. She let you know this is who I am, whether you like it or not, whether you accept it. This is me. So it already allowed people that if you rock with her, you rock with her.
If you don't, you don't.
Right.
Of course.
And so obviously the Love and Hip Hop was another step, you know, and then into the music, and then you know, but it was already that introduction, like this is who I am, and I think that that's what people appreciate anyway, you know.
Exactly.
So
they want that raw, real, you know, authentic version of you, because that's when they really can relate. That's when they really understand. That's when they really mess with you, when you really giving them who you truly are.
And if they can't relate because they're not really from that particular corner of the earth like you, you're still inspiring them to be true to whoever they are.
Whoever they are.
I think that's what's so dope about my girl,
the
exactly. City girl, you know, Miami and
that's
JT.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's what every
all day.
Nah, free my girl for real, because we got work to do. But
for sure.
But yeah, I think that's what everybody appreciates about the girls.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that when they came out, it wasn't the fact that they was trying to make a hit record. We just letting y'all know who we are through the record.
Yep.
And that's it.
And that's
you know?
it. Yep. And you love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
So you have you know, American Idol that should be coming, but anything else in the works that you want to let the fans know about?
Well, I'm working on a lot of music right now. I'm actually done with my first album.
Nice.
We're going through a mixing and mastering process. Shouts out to my brother who I love dearly, DJ Illusion. He's mixing on everything and working on everything. So we're working on that. And lately, I've been hanging out with my boy Neri Beats and my boy Wood right here at the lab. They've been giving me some incredible music. I've been putting together some creativity because, like I said, I went on a little hiatus with my writing, and so now I've just been allowing myself to get really creative and been putting together some really dope stuff here while things are being worked on with my brother. So it's really good.
It's coming. So let the fans know where you could be reached. Let me get a social media rundown.
On Facebook, it's RONNIE VOP. Instagram, Ronnie_VOP. Twitter, Ronnie_VOP. Snapchat, Ronnie VOP. Google Ronnie VOP.
Google Ronnie VOP.
Or Ronnie Smith Jr. And for the most part, I'll be the first one to pop up.
That's what's up.
That's where they can find me at if they haven't found me already.
Yeah.
And they can also find me at the 2020 Miami Entertainment Awards.
I know that's right. You better say that again.
Hopefully honoring the 2020 Best Male Vocalist or Best Female Vocalist.
Yes.
Any way I can be of any assistance, I want y'all to know that I'm here for y'all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you again for the committee and the staff, the founders, or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
For putting together such a prestigious event like this. And I'm with it. So
thank you.
You see me.
You heard it right here. You heard it right here.
You see me. You don't see me.
2020 Miami Entertainment Awards. We already know. Let's go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If I picked you up on a late night cruise, just me and you, there's nothing else to do. Lover, baby, would you